Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise brought oil in their vessels with their lamps.
When the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight the cry was made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him.
And then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
And the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. Go to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
And when they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour the Son of Man cometh.
Nestled in a grove of trees, at the top of a steep hill, there was a shop. And every person who toiled up the path to the top came for the same reason, to buy oil. The shopkeeper was a young man with thick brown hair. His large hands were strong, but gentle. He spent much of his time sitting at a wooden workbench, carefully sculpting small, oil-burning lamps. It was his tradition to give one of these lamps to every person who moved into the village. Each lamp was meticulously crafted, and each was different from the others. But all of them held oil, and all of them produced light. The shopkeeper carefully sculpted each lamp to complement a quality he hoped each woman would develop within herself. With time and effort, each could become
A woman of Scripture. A woman who takes the Spirit for her guide.
A woman who keeps the commandments.
A woman who respects sacred things. A woman of humility.
A woman who is loyal.
A woman of service.
A woman who diligently prepares.
A woman of prayer.
A woman of grace, personal conversion, and holiness.
With her lamp, each woman was given a choice. She could use her gift carelessly, foolishly thinking she had plenty of time to prepare, or she could use her gift at all times and in all things and in all places. The shopkeeper reminded each woman to return to his shop often. The tiny flame the lamp produced could not be maintained without an ongoing supply of oil, and the lampmaker's shop was the only source of oil in the village. But the path to the top of the hill was steep, and the journey took time and effort. Those seeking oil would arrive at the lampmaker's shop at all times of the day or night, and each was met with a warm welcome, no matter the hour. The shopkeeper's eyes would light up as the lamp owner came through his door, and he would always set his work aside to visit. Everyone knows his face, the shopkeeper on the hill. All through the night, the light from his window burns as he works the clay, and everyone waits to see the lamp he's designed for her, carefully crafted, perfectly planned to be. she will find the shopkeeper on the hill, rugged and steep each step, but worth the climb. If only she takes the time, he reminds her to return, so her lamp will always burn with the oil he freely gives. It holds the light to guide her path. He hopes she'll bring the lamp that only he can fill. His door is open still, the shopkeeper on the hill. He waits at the window. One of the first women to receive a lamp from the shopkeeper was Eliana.
I use my lamp to lighten the darkened shadows of my small home. When evening comes, I often sit next to the soft glow and read from my favorite books. Sometimes, when I've finished reading, I set the book beside the lamp, wrap a warm blanket around my shoulders, and watch the flame flicker and dance. My lamp has seen me through joy and celebration, and has given me comfort through disappointment and discouragement. The constant light has guided me through change and given me courage in the hours of darkness. Even now, after years of use, the flame still burns as brightly as it did the day the lamp was made. My lamp was the first that he made, thoughtfully sculpted in pale yellow clay, strengthened by fire and refined, shaped and prepared to endure over time, through heartache and joy, by day and by night. It reminds me of treasures I've read by its light. It's more than a gift that it gave long ago. This lamp holds a light that brings peace to my soul, a flame that is constant through change, still burning as bright as the day it was made. Its warmth reassures that he listens to me, and he lovingly, tenderly speaks what I need. It's guided me all of my days, led me through valleys of sorrow I faced, bringing me comfort and strength, giving me courage to trust in his ways. It's more than a gift that he gave long ago. This lamp holds the light that brings peace to my soul, a flame that is constant through change, still burning as bright as the day it was made. Its warmth reassures that he listens to me, and he lovingly, so tenderly speaks. The words of the shopkeeper live in my heart, whispering truth that shines bright in the dark. A flame that is constant through change, still burning as bright as the day it was made. Its warmth reassures that he listens to me, and he lovingly, so tenderly speaks what I need. Always tenderly speaks what I need.
The shopkeeper worried for Ashira because she was always so rushed and hurried. He watched her run in and out of her house all day long. Half the time, she had to run back for her shoes. Most of the time, she forgot to take her lamp. He knew of her great responsibility as a teacher, healer, mender, and caregiver, but he also knew the concerns of her heart.
Most days, it's all I can do to get myself dressed in the morning. As soon as the sun comes up over the mountain, I get right to work. On one hand, I feel as though I am everything to everyone. On the other hand, I feel I never get anything accomplished. Sometimes I look up at the shop on the hill and think, today will be the day. Between doing the dishes, scrubbing the floors, reading to the children in the village, and a trip to the market, I will find time. Always in the back of my mind, somehow I will find the time to visit you, to learn from you. But in trying to be everything, I'm missing the most important things: to know you, to feel you. Help me just find the time to remember my light. I will come to you today. Nothing will take your place. I will push the world away and I will run to you. Everything else can wait. Nothing matters more than you today. Always someone needing my time, always something on my mind, weighs on me, pulls at me, help me lay down my load. For what I need most, I will come to you today. Nothing will take your place. I will push the world away and I will run to you. Everything else can wait. Nothing matters more than you today. Nothing matters more today.
The shopkeeper knew that each of the women used her lamp in her own way. He also knew that those who visited his shop most frequently were those who used their lamps most often. As he was asked to do so, the shopkeeper would refill the tiny lamps with oil drop by drop, according to each woman's need. Dinah was the first to ask the shopkeeper for a vessel to hold more oil. It seemed that her supply in her lamp was not enough to keep the flame burning between her frequent visits to the shop. Dinah was known throughout the village for her ability to bring comfort at any time of the day or night.
I use my lamp to light the way as I travel to the homes of the villagers during the darkest hours of the night. Because I use my lamp constantly, I'm worried that I might run out of oil for my lamp. And so I asked the shopkeeper to make a vessel so I could carry extra oil for my lamp. My lamp has brightened the rooms of the sick and warmed the lives of the lonely. It has accompanied me through times where I have seen sorrow and moments when I have witnessed grief. It's in your eyes, but hard to see. You've hidden it well, still I sense your need. but you don't have to walk alone. I know a simple way to brighten up your road. I will fill my vessel and light my flame, and I will wait with you. I will stay with you until your heart begins to mend and the last tears fall, till the shadows of the evening have drifted into morning and a flicker of hope returns and your own light burns. I've weathered storms, I felt the pounding rain. I am no stranger to grief and pain. Through it all, his love has been true. Now I want to share the hope and peace I feel with you. I will fill my vessel and light my flame, and I will wait with you. I will stay with you until your heart begins to mend and the last tears fall, till the shadows of the evening have drifted into morning and a flicker of hope returns and your own light burns.
Nava's lamp was molded from beautiful deep orange clay. After carefully inscribing an intricate floral design across the top of the lamp, the shopkeeper gently placed it in the kiln. Nava knew that her lamp was something to be treasured, and she carried it everywhere she went.
As I walked home with my new lamp, I watched the flame flicker and knew this gift was something to be treasured. But keeping the flame lit is a difficult task, one that requires constant attention. And so even though I carry it with me wherever I go, I rarely light my lamp. On special occasions, I sit down at the table in my kitchen and carefully pull the tiny wick through the small hole on top. I have to trim off the used and blackened portion of the wick before lighting it again. This ensures that the flame will burn bright and true. Sometimes I like to admire the soft glowing beauty flame of the light and wonder why I don't light my flame more often.
Beautiful, so beautiful, the spirit of this dancing flame, flickering, awakening, a longing for this feeling to remain. I can't deny it, there's no excuse. It's always with me, but rarely used. In the stillness of this moment, there are traces of regret. I try so hard to remember, but it's so easy to forget. Hidden in this intricate design, beckoning, calling me, always something here for me to find. These precious moments have become so few. Why do I forget?
treasure I've been given is a gift I can't neglect. I try so hard to remember, but it's so easy to forget. I will try to remember.
The shopkeeper watched Gabriella closely for many days before he finally came up with the perfect design for her lamp. She was an unassuming woman and rarely called attention to herself, which made the task more challenging. She was also gentle and wise beyond her years. Her clothing was unadorned and beautiful in its simplicity. She had a natural style and elegance that were all her own.
Every morning, I make my way up the narrow path that leads to the shopkeeper. I'm beginning to realize that spending more time with him will help me to become more like him. He makes me feel welcome every time I visit. It is my hope that those who come to my home to visit will find me to be a loyal friend, one who always speaks of others with respect and admiration. When the shopkeeper asked what I hoped for, I asked him to make my lamp simple. He molded the clay into an oval that fits perfectly into the palm of my hand. With painstaking care, he smoothed away each rough spot and imperfection. My lamp is simple, allowing those who see it to focus on the flame. Take my eyes, clear my view, heal my blindness until all I see is you. Take my lips that I may speak words of kindness that comfort, lift, and heal. Help me stand against the winds that blow. Make my feet to walk the path that you have shown. So I'll be more faithful and devoted. I'll be more worthy of your name. Will you polish and refine me and make me stronger than before? Through you I can become more.
Addie wondered if she would ever be enough, and the shopkeeper watched her struggle. He had crafted her lamp with a complicated geometric design, one that would stand out. Still, Addie spent much of her time comparing it to the lamps he had given the others.
I feel as though I am so much less than everyone else in this village. It doesn't matter what I do, I never seem to be enough. Sometimes I wonder if my lamp is as nice as the ones the shopkeeper made for the others. In some ways, my lamp is beautiful, but in other ways I feel that it is lacking. I wish I could do more with the gift I've been given.
The shopkeeper knew she would quickly tire her lamp, so he hid a design in the brown clay. With use, it would show through. Uncomprehending, Addie longed for more. Would she ever discover the hidden treasure that she already carried with her?
Am I enough? What do others see? When they pass me by, I wonder what they think. If they knew how I really felt inside. Oh, I want to change the insecurities I hide. Simple and plain, nothing beautiful or grand. But could I be if placed in your hands? Would I be more confident
Liraz had a hard time waiting for her lamp to be made. As the shopkeeper was crafting her lamp, she would often run into the shop, pulling her windblown hair back into place, her round brown eyes wide with anticipation.
I visited the shopkeeper every day and watched as he sat at his wooden workbench molding my lamp. I could hardly wait for the moment it would be done. He often told me he appreciated my company and enjoyed our conversations. Now that my lamp is finished, my visits to the shop have become fewer and farther between. The journey up the hill just takes too long. In the mornings, I'm too busy, and in the evenings, I'm just too tired. But when I'm in desperate need, I do go to him. And each time, the shopkeeper seems so grateful for my visit.
I can tell him anything. That's the way it's always been. And every time I talk with him, it makes my day. I see his light in the distance, and I don't forget to wave as my life goes by. In my hour of desperate need, he's been there to comfort me. When I've been in tears and shown up at his door. But now I try to stop for a visit as I run from place to place. But then the time goes by. Someday soon I'll spend my day telling him everything and listening to his gentle voice. Maybe someday I'll have that kind of time, but not today. I hope he understands. He understands my gentle heart. He understands my restless soul. He loves my smile and he knows the things that make me cry. I know that I need to see him and tell him how I've been before this night goes by.
Malka's lamp was hewn from a beautiful piece of soft red sandstone. After the shopkeeper had given her the gift, she looked at it in wonder. She was amazed that the shopkeeper had gone to the effort to make her such a beautiful gift.
When the shopkeeper gave me my lamp, I noticed right away how very unique the design is. It must have taken him hours to smooth and shape it. I thanked him for his gift and put it carefully in my bag. Sometimes I look at that lamp and I can't believe how lucky I am. I'm so flattered that the shopkeeper would have taken the time to make me such a beautiful gift. But none of my friends uses her lamp. Besides, I know the village well enough that I don't need light to guide my way. I rarely light it at all. I can see just fine in the darkness. But it truly is a beautiful lamp. So I put it out in my home as decoration for my friends to admire.
What a beautiful piece of work, magnificent work of art. I've never seen a design like this, nor as finely crafted a lamp as this. Beautiful piece of work. How many hours did it take to carve and smooth and shape? Oh, what an honor and joy this is. work of art to show just what it means to me. I'll display it with care so all can see this beautiful piece of work, magnificent work of art.
After the shopkeeper gave Leora her lamp, he'd watched her take the hands of the other villagers and by its light lead them through the darkness. He noticed that every time her path met another, she would pause, lift her lamp in front of her, and consider her direction. Because it was hard for Leora to focus in the darkness, the shopkeeper worried that she might become lost when she came to a fork or a bend in the road. He knew that without enough light, she would not be able to find her way.
One afternoon, the shopkeeper cut a long branch off the tree outside his shop and whittled it until smooth. Then he crafted this small cup, just large enough for my lamp to fit inside, and fastened it to the end of his pole. The shopkeeper must have known how much I would treasure this unique gift. The first evening that he gave it to me, I lit my lamp, placed it inside the cup, and held it up high. It lit the entire path. I have noticed that the flame grows stronger as the night grows deeper, allowing me to help the weary, the lost, and the worn find their way back home. Evening lights retire one by one, tired eyes are setting with the sun, but surely as the day is done, some walk in shadows, faces that I've never seen before, some I've known so well I can't ignore, their voices calling at my door, lost as the wind blows, and by my lantern light, deep within the night, travelers turn to me with weary eyes. Brilliantly it glows, like a sky composed of stars that glimmer as the darkness grows, bringing hope, giving life, burning brightly by my lantern light. I would give every tiny part, every hidden corner of my heart to mend a world that's torn apart, healing the aching, reaching out, something in my soul cries out loud, not for me but so much more for those who wander in the cold, trembling and shaking, and by my lantern light, deep within the night, travelers turn to me with weary eyes. Brilliantly it glows, like a sky composed of stars that glimmer as the darkness grows, bringing hope, giving life, burning brightly by my lantern light. And should it fade away, its ashes turn to gray, it's not too late. For every fire that dies, the sun won't fail to rise another day. And by my lantern light, deep within the night, travelers turn to me with weary eyes. Brilliantly it glows, like the sky composed of stars that glimmer as the darkness grows, bringing hope,
Jessa wasn't sure how it had happened. She woke up one morning to find her lamp in broken pieces on the floor. Perhaps it had blown off the table during the furious winds that had preceded the storm. She was devastated.
I felt as if my heart had broken. I could barely see through the tears as I picked up each of the tiny pieces and placed them gently on the table. Every day, I would walk past that pile, close my eyes, and wonder if the heartache that I felt, if it would ever go away. After many days, I finally accepted what I had known all along. There was only one who could fix the lamp. So I gathered up the pieces, and I started up the hill. It started to rain. And the path became slippery. And then came the downpour. The wind blew my hair into my face, and it became hard to see. And when I knew I wouldn't make it, I cried out for help. And in an instant, he was there. The shopkeeper had been walking on the path just below me. He wrapped his heavy warm cloak around me and lifted me with strong, steady arms and carried me up the hill. After the storm, I came down the hill with 2 gifts: a restored lamp and a grateful heart.
I have walked with sorrow till I could walk no more. I have felt the winds of change blow so hard to chill me to the core, and pain has knocked at my door. But I have never heard like this before. Only one can take the pieces of my heart and make them whole. Only one can part the darkness and bring light into my aching soul. One way, one light, one hope. Only I'll pick up the pieces, every little bit. I'll gather all of them, even ones impossible to fix, and I'll place them all in his hands. What I cannot restore, he can. Only one can take the pieces of my heart and make them whole.
In time, the shopkeeper decided to marry and chose a bride. Each of the 10 women received an invitation to attend the wedding, and each was asked to take part in one of the village's most honored customs. On the night of the wedding, these 10 chosen women would use their lamps to light the doorway of the home where the wedding would be held. The glow from their lamps would bring honor to the groom as he entered the home for the celebration. It was a great privilege, one that many women waited a lifetime to receive. The women could barely contain their excitement for the events that were about to unfold, and finally the long-awaited day arrived. The 10 women made their way through the crowded streets of the village to the entry of the home where the wedding would be held, and the shopkeeper watched from the top of the hill and waited. Finally, the 10 chosen women arrived at their destination. Each of these women found a comfortable place in the alcove of the doorway and settled down to wait. Time passed slowly, and growing weary, the women closed their eyes and slept. The 11th hour came and went. The entire village grew quiet under the soft glow of the moon. And still, the shopkeeper watched from the top of the hill and waited. One day the light giver will come and claim those who bear his flame. The very trees and skies will praise his name, and some will run to meet him and find his arms at last. Others will know their time has passed. The door will close and they will go, never to enter in. They will not know him when he comes. Then, at precisely the darkest hour of the night, when a hush had fallen over the sleeping village, those villagers who had patiently waited and watched raised a cry. The silence was broken. The women awoke with a start. The moment was at hand. It was time to trim their lamps. Suddenly alert, Jessa quickly used her extra oil to fill her darkened lamp. A lifetime of waiting had come to an end, and she hoped she had made sufficient preparation. Gabriella reached for her vessel and filled her simple lamp with all of the remaining oil she had. As she carefully tucked her empty vessel away, Nava, who was sitting beside her, let out a small cry. Her flame had gone out. Her lamp was empty. She had not brought any extra oil. What would she do now?
I have looked forward to this night for as long as I can remember. I desperately want to be a part of this wedding, but my preparations just weren't enough. Why didn't I think to get extra oil? The thought never even crossed my mind.
Frantic, Nava turned to Gabriella to see if she had extra oil, but there was none to spare. She watched the other women trim their lamps as tears ran down her cheeks. Realizing her mistake, Nava fell to the ground weeping. With the bridegroom approaching, the preparations around her intensified, and soon other women in the group realized that they were also short of oil.
I have been so consumed with the daily necessities of running my home that I kept forgetting to make the trip to the top of the hill. I just simply ran out of time.
I haven't visited the shopkeeper in quite a while. The days turned into months until I lost track. I have waited for this day for a long time, but it never occurred to me that he would arrive so late in the evening. I didn't prepare for the delay. I wondered if there'd be a wedding at all. I considered buying oil for my lamp, but Since I rarely use it, I thought it might go to waste.
I spent all my extra money on a new dress for the wedding. I wanted to look as nice as the others. There just wasn't enough oil left, and there wasn't enough money left for oil.
The 5 women rushed over to Dinah and Leora and fell at their feet, begging for help. These women had brightened the darkness for them in the past. Surely they would share their oil. But what had been prepared could not be shared in an instant. Every drop was needed now. They could not risk letting their own lamps run empty. As much as they longed to help their friends, there was nothing they could do. Finally, weeping tears of frustration, the 5 foolish women turned to Eliana. The wise woman could give them nothing but advice.
You will have to go out into the darkness of the night and find oil. Buy what you can and then return. Hurry, he's coming.
Clutching their empty lamps, the frantic women ran out through the garden gate and into the village streets. They would never make it back in time. The 5 remaining women carefully trimmed the wicks and finished emptying the oil from their vessels into their lamps. The bridegroom made his way through the crowded streets. He turned the corner just in time to see the 5 foolish women running toward the hill. His heart ached for their lack of preparation. Then he lifted his eyes to the doorway and took in the sight he had waited a lifetime to see. Leora was there, with her finely crafted pole holding her lamp high. The flame from Gabriella's simple lamp lit up her eyes, which glistened with anticipation. Dinah lifted her lamp so the flame could dance with the others, adding a soft glow to the brilliant display of light. Eliana rested a hand on Dinah's arm and lifted her yellow lamp as high as her arm could reach. And quiet Jessa had fallen to her knees, her lamp cupped carefully in both hands while tears of overwhelming gratitude streamed down her cheeks. These 5 wise women had each come to know the bridegroom, and their hearts filled with joy as they watched him stride through the garden gate and down the pathway that led to the great wooden door.
He lifted and strengthened me. He believed in me and encouraged me. When I was weak, he made me strong.
When I thought I could not go on, he made up the difference.
When I found disappointment, he offered consoling peace.
The shopkeeper paused and greeted each of the women one by one. Then he invited them in for the wedding feast. Together, the 5 women raised their lamps in a final tribute and went in with him into the marriage. And the great wooden door was shut. And at that day, when I shall come in my glory, shall the parable be fulfilled which I spake concerning the 10 virgins. For they that are wise and have received the truth and have taken the Holy Spirit for their guide and have not been deceived, verily I say unto you, they shall not be hewn down and cast into the fire, but shall abide the day, for the Lord shall be in their midst, and his glory shall be upon them. We are all invited to the feast. Each of us is welcome, the greatest to the least. We hold the invitation in our hands. It's written in each crevice of our own land. I promise I'll prepare to be there on that day, dancing in the glory as we celebrate. Like a lamp, the Master planned each of us with his grand design. The oil is the light I will burn through the night as I wait for him to come again.
There will always be enough if I run to him to fill it up.
drop by drop by drop, till I know him perfectly when he comes for me. Humble hearts are waiting for the day, faithfully preparing for the chance to light his way. Guardians of the vessels that